This is Ask a Martian. We're a podcast about fashion, style, and community. I'm Orchid Satellite Martian.
And I'm Elias Vidal Martian.
And we're going to answer a couple questions for you today. We're just going to talk through some fun topics. Really, we're just going to rant about things we like, things we're passionate about, things we're knowledgeable about.
And we're going to answer your questions about style and how to do it.
And what's our first question, Elias?
Our first question today is, how long should one wait until rewearing an item?
I love this question.
I feel like you actually have piles of clothing that have never been tried on.
Is that accurate? That's very accurate. It's hard to know if other people can relate to this because I think I have a specific problem. I mean, it's so bad that we sleep in the smaller room in our house and our larger bedroom is a closet. However, there are those outfits that I do wear constantly, and I think, when's the last time I wore that? Or did that friend I just saw see that outfit on me last time? Do you have that same problem, Elias? I feel like you do.
I have a few favorite things that definitely I will wear out to the point where they are, falling apart, basically.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoy the, happiness that comes with finding something new to bring into your regular rotation. And then I also have that same problem of buying stuff that I'm like, oh, that's cute, and then never wearing it at all.
Oh, same.
Right?
We definitely all have those problems.
I mean, you literally have items that, you could wear something new every single day and not repeat an outfit once. But I know that you do like to, get those really special pieces into your rotation. And, try to give them the right moment to, come out and meet the world.
Yeah, and I think now it's a different question with social media because we're basically documenting that we wore that outfit. And it also depends on how involved you are in social media. Some people that have blogs that have a reputation might, mentally require themselves to never wear an outfit more than once, which I don't believe in, especially if you're buying new garments. I think that's incredibly bad for the environment. And I think everything can be reworn and repurposed a different way. So you can breathe a new life into a garment endless times.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to do with styling too, right? Switching up the accessories, switching up the way that you style something or wear it. Maybe it's a dress, but maybe it can go into pants and be a top or a tunic or there's just so many opportunities with scarves and belts and, other accessories that can really change it up and make something different than the way you wore it last time.
Totally. And I've worn lots of things that people don't, they didn't notice it the first time because of how I layered it, but then the next time they notice it. There's cool things like tunics you can turn into mini dresses, or, you can layer shirts and t-shirts all different kinds of ways so they look like a different garment. When I was 13, 14, I used to wear 4XL men's t-shirts as dresses and then just wear fishnets under them. And I have some of those same t-shirts, and now I'll layer them with a button-up underneath and a jacket on top. There's so many fun things you can do with one piece. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I just wore that yesterday. You can wear it again. And also, with vintage, I feel like you want to be careful over washing it. So it's okay to, let it sit if you didn't, sweat in it too much or distress it too much.
Yeah, there's different ways of taking care of your garments besides just washing it. And there's usually gentler ways of washing it than throwing something in your washing machine and then in your dryer. That's a really easy recipe for messing with a lot of more delicate fabrics. If you want to preserve your garments, you really should be taking the time to hand wash. It's not that hard. You can get all the supplies that you need to do a gentle hand wash and keep your vintage and really nice garments looking good for a long, long time. You know, there used to be a saying called "a stitch in time saves nine." People used to mend ahead of time. So, you know, mending ahead of time, you know, washing things out when it occurs and not letting it sit for a long period of time. If you get a stain on something, you know, treat it ASAP and then just, you know, get that washed out as soon as possible.
I'm really bad about that. I put off a lot of that stuff.
Hey, do as I say, not as I do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're giving advice. We're trying to speak to our higher selves here.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some pieces, like our friend Mel recently said something that was really clever. She said, you should never you wouldn't wash a Van Gogh, which I think is so true. Some people assume that everything goes in the washing machine, and there are certain garments that will completely destroy them. Destroy them. I have seen some horror stories.
Yeah, she was talking about a hand-painted Mexican dress from the 1950s. And, yeah, you should not wash that.
You shouldn't wash it.
It's literally beautifully painted, beautifully adorned. That's what slips were for. Wear a slip under it so you don't get it nasty.
Yep. Yeah, what's one of the worst, like, washing horror stories you've had personally?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I just feel like every time I try to wash fringe, it's just, like, a mess.
A disaster.
It's like so hard to make sure that nothing frays and nothing catches. It's like, yeah, anytime you have fringe in the wash, I feel like that's like asking for danger.
Yeah, mine is leaving lipstick in pockets of outfits.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's happened to me like 4 times in my life, and it's horrific.
Trauma. Everything
turns the color of the lipstick, which can be beautiful, but, you know.
Okay, so what's our next question, Orchid?
Our next question is, all it says is pattern mixing. So I'm just going to leave it like that.
With a question mark or just like a statement?
Just pattern mixing, straight up pattern mixing. I think that's a question. I think it counts as a question.
Just filling in the blanks here.
Yeah.
Probably a how-to pattern mix.
Perhaps. I just like pattern mixing as a question.
Well, I think this one, you can kind of break it down maybe by the general type of pattern that you're trying to mix, right? And don't necessarily think so much about them being exactly the same. I would think about 2 different things when you're trying to mix patterns. What is the scale of the pattern? And what is the color story of the pattern?
I completely agree.
And then also probably a third thing is the content of the pattern.
Sure, like the materials?
Yeah, because it can, like, relate back and forth. Like, you might be able to wear a smaller floral print with a larger floral print if they're both in the same color story.
Yeah.
Or wearing, you know, similar scale prints, but maybe one of them is polka dots and the other one is flowers. You know, something like that where it's a similar scale, so they have some type of relationship with each other.
It's all about relationships.
Yeah, you have to make a bridge, right? So it can be the color story that's used in these fabrics. So, like, you know, maybe you have a plaid top that has, you know, yellow, green, blue in it, and you have a abstract skirt, and that one is yellow, green, and blue in it. You know, try to make relationships between the garments.
This is one of my favorite things to do in fashion. I've always played around with really fun prints, and I've made a lot of mistakes, but I think that having confidence in it just makes it fun. And I think that the more you do it, the more you kind of can visualize and see what works. You really can't be afraid when you're wearing any prints anyways. I mean, most prints, they're so fun, but they can be dangerous to some people. Polka dots, plaids, floral prints. People think that they're like seasonal too. I don't believe that. I don't believe floral print is only for spring. I think that's ridiculous. I wear some of my favorite spring pastel-y floral prints right in the winter or the summer.
We live in Southern California.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like if I lived anywhere else, I'd do the same thing. I just can get away with it easier here, right?
We live in Southern California.
I
It's like
know, we're so
75
lucky.
degrees and beautiful most
Yeah,
days.
so I can wear all my ridiculous like polyester dresses in the summer. It's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really think it's important to also be a completist with print matching and, mixing. Like when I'm out shopping, I always try to find something that's going to coordinate really well with something else that we already have. So, like recently, I made an outfit where it was all bird feather prints of different colors, different
It was
fabrics,
so cool.
but everything head to toe was a bird feather print. And it kind of overall gave this like really, really lushly textured effect to the outfit without, any of the garments really having anything to do with each other than like the similar scale and content
Yeah,
of the
like
print.
some of them, like some of the pieces were women's wear, some of them were men's wear, all different eras. That's the cool thing about prints too, is that when you match them, it doesn't matter what era or where they came from. They just look cool together. So it's kind of like a fun game of I Spy, trying to find these pieces that look cool together. And the amazing and talented Iris Apfel, for those of you who don't know, she has an immense history. She has an amazing documentary about her on Netflix. She talks a lot about this, about completing an outfit and it taking her upwards of 30 years to finish an outfit, which is such a cool concept because you're constantly looking for new pieces to go with that. It kind of goes back to the earlier question of, can I wear this more than once, or when should I wear this? You can wear it infinitely. What's the word?
Infinitely?
Thank you. You can wear it infinitely if you play with it like it's an adventure. And I don't know, I really admire that about her, and I try to do that with my outfits as well.
Yeah, I think it's fun. And you know what? Go crazy. Like, really, feel free to mix and match, make relationships between the garments, take a step back. You know what? Maybe it's not always taking something off that makes something look good. Maybe you need to add another thing on to complete the concept. I recently wore an outfit that, wow, it did not look good up until the last moment that I put the overshirt on. But then as soon as I did, it all looked amazing. So, really try to base an outfit all around one piece and pick everything else out to match that.
And it's okay to add more and more.
Yeah, exactly. Start with one concept and really try to pick everything to create really fun layers together. I think that's the most important thing, is to really, create something that's visually interesting and similarly scaled in the way that it would look. It might look kind of off if you're working with very small prints all the time. So I would encourage people, go out and try a larger print, especially men. Try a bolder print. I hate all this ditzy floral that's out there in the world. Like, we need something more bold. Like, try some Jam Swirled.
What is Jam's World to people that don't know?
Oh my
'Cause
god,
I don't know if
Jam's
anyone knows
World is
about
my
Jam's World.
favorite. So Jam's World is a leisure wear brand that has been based in Hawaii since, I want to say, like the 50s or 60s.
I think late 50s is when they started. I think the 60s is when they opened their first store.
Yeah. So they use rayon, which is a tree fiber actually, to create these wonderfully breathable shirts that have just the most vibrant, amazing artistic prints on them that are, hand painted by artists and really beautiful. They were really popular back in the day for making like swim shorts and, other like really nice to wear, bold and beautiful leisure wear. So I definitely collect, and I know other people do as well.
Yeah, it's exciting when you see someone wearing them and they know what it is, and it's that like mutual understanding. Hey, James World, yeah.
Exactly, but I still want them to cost $5 at the thrift store
I
because like the retail
know.
price is not.
Yeah, I mean they're more of a luxury brand, so they're a little bit pricey. I think their shirts are usually in like the $125 to $300 range for a button up, which
Look
to
on
some
eBay
people
though.
they just buy
Again,
one. That's
yeah, secondhand. You know what? These shirts age so well. You can really find some nicely kept shirts on eBay and on Etsy for not too much money.
yeah.
So go out there, buy secondhand, keep an eye out at the thrift stores, buy some fun clothing and try to mix and match it from your wardrobe. That's my advice for pattern mixing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of secondhand, I'm going to go to our third question,
Yeah, sounds good.
which is how do you find fun and wild estate sales?
Okay, so I love this one. Orchid, we are going to estate sales, I don't know, at least one weekend out of the month, maybe more.
Yeah, usually one or two. Sometimes we take a break because the thing with going estate sale shopping is waking up early, which not everyone likes to do.
Like, we're talking 6 and 7 in the morning, waiting in line.
Yep.
To go in, and then maybe it's not even anything good. Or maybe the person who's running the estate sale thinks that, the price that they Googled and found on eBay is the price that they're going to sell it to someone at a estate sale for.
Yeah, I think the thing is that some people are turned off by estate sales because maybe they had a bad experience, but the trick is going often and, not being disappointed if it's not a good one. It really is hit or miss. Sometimes you can gauge it and you know it's going to be a good one and it is a good one, but there's always strange things that happen, and that's the fun of it.
And there's a ton of different people running the estate sales
Yeah.
too. Like, some of the people running estate sales are just wonderful human beings. Really just motivated to help a family get some money for their loved ones' belongings, pass on some cool stuff to, help it find a future home somewhere else. But I've also had, some negative experiences, as I know you have as well, because, like, we've been there together. So,
of course.
like, I would say that you should, at least in an area like where we are in Los Angeles, go and try a lot of estate sales. If you don't like a particular company, you don't have to go back to any of theirs in the future, but I would definitely advocate going and making friends with the estate sale companies. Companies that we like shopping with, we go back to their estate sales every time they have one. We keep an eye out. It's so easy to sign up to be on their email list. That way you can just find out when the estate sale's happening, and a lot of times they'll have pictures and let you know ahead of time. So that's a really positive resource, is making friends at the estate sales. You know what? I don't think we actually told them
How to even
start.
So that's
how to look this up.
Right.
Okay,
so
let's
that's
like
the thing.
reverse.
People talk a lot about like, oh, I scored this awesome thing at this estate sale, and you're like, but how did you do that? So we're going to tell you because there's some information you need to know.
Okay, the website.
The internet, the Craigslist. There are a couple of sites that we use. Our two top ones are Garage Sale Finder and estatesales.net, both of which you can set up accounts and choose your location. You can choose a certain mile frame that you want to be in. So, like, I'm not driving more than 20 miles for that estate sale, even if it's awesome.
Oh, but, sometimes.
We've gone to Palm Springs a lot.
Yes.
Long drives. Yeah. But there's other things like keywords. So if you're really into mid-century furniture or you're looking specifically for 80s clothing, you can put those keywords and they'll send you email or garage sales that are in your neighborhood that have those things every week. I mean, I get probably 20 to 30 a week.
That's
emails.
A lot of emails to receive,
It's a
though.
lot.
I mean, you can always just go on their website and look it up, too.
Yeah.
It's not like the only way that you're getting the info about these is through their email blasts.
No, and also estatesales.net does this amazing thing where you can go on their Google Maps, and if you're driving around, it's a Saturday morning, and you're like, hey, I have nothing to do, you can check and they pinpoint locations. So if it can tell you, hey, there's an estate sale 5 minutes away from you right now. And it's really handy for just like impulsive, I want to shop. And who knows, we've done this before where we're nearby somewhere and then we score this amazing, I don't know, giant haul of crazy goods.
Yeah, I mean, you can find so much good stuff out there that, you just might never get a chance to own for that price ever again. And we've certainly passed on things and really regretted it later on. So I would definitely encourage you to go out there and shop the estate sales in your area, because it's a really unique opportunity and a chance to find something. And it's also a good chance to, help a family going through a tough time, and to help a local economy where they are saving things instead of having, someone's entire life of stuff just go to the trash heap. And, I'm sure that many of you would feel sad if all of your belongings were just thrown away. So that's why I definitely like to go out and support estate sales. Another thing that just came to my mind too is there is a website called EBTH, Everything But the House. Mm-hmm. And it's like an online estate sale where things get shipped to you, but I think you can also host estate sales through there as well. But you can look it up and, search for a keyword, maybe a designer that you might like or something that you collect. But they definitely have really good stuff on there pretty frequently. So I would definitely go give them a check out. EBTH, Everything But the House.
Yeah, and if you don't like to shop online too, or even look on Craigslist for estate sales, if you know a neighborhood that you think might have interesting people or are the kind of demographic of what you like, sometimes it's fun to just drive around the neighborhood and look for signs. You'd be surprised at how many people put out signs and don't put anything online still and have amazing pieces.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And other two major things, I guess, I don't know if we're just expecting people to know this, but the biggest estate sale day is Friday. Most estate sales start on Friday and go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some are Saturday and Sunday.
Usually Sunday's a sale day, so that's good for really cheap prices. Some estate sales even start on Thursday, so it can be disappointing sometimes if you work during the week. You either have to go very early before you start your work shift, which can be exhausting. I've done it many times. Or you wait until the end of the sale, and maybe you don't get as many of the cool pieces, but you're still going.
Maybe you're getting a really good discount because you go on Sunday and they have everything 50% off or something like that.
Yeah.
Usually with the estate sales, they are very motivated to sell things at the end of the day, at the end of the sale. So that is also another strategy. Of course, you might not get what you wanted, but it's still a good thing. And then usually the biggest day for garage sales is Saturday morning. So if you are the type of person that would be looking for a garage sale, I would say get out in your neighborhood Saturday around 9 a.m., see what's out there.
Yeah, Saturdays are a good day. I love shopping on Saturdays.
Yeah, same. The weekend was made for shopping.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another thing is that for those of you that don't live in Los Angeles, garage sales don't have to happen as often due to weather. We're very spoiled because it's summer year-round, so we can have garage sales year-round. When I lived in Colorado, garage sales were only in the summer. So I would wait until the summer, save all my money, and then go garage selling every single weekend. And I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people that live in the Midwest, on the East Coast. It gets cold, so you don't want to have a garage sale at 8 a.m. So definitely save your pennies for the summer. But also some of the best garage sales and estate sales I've ever been to are in weird random towns in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be surprised at what people keep. People keep their houses a lot longer and their family heirlooms a lot longer. There are garments that they've held on to for years. So it's amazing what you score. A lot of big vintage resellers do big trips through the Midwest and take their U-Hauls and just stock up because there's amazing pieces.
Don't give away all the secrets, Orchid.
I'm just saying, it's just
giving
facts.
away all the secrets.
That's the whole thing about this vintage
cut you
community.
Off before...
There shouldn't be secrets. It's all joyous and fun. It's only shopping.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This has been such a wonderful time, and we're so glad to have folks submitting their questions. If you are interested in contacting us, you can do so at martianfamilyvalues@gmail.com. We would like to thank our producer, Josh McVitie.
He's also our engineer, and he did the amazing intro and outro songs. Incredible.
And he also builds furniture and does other stuff too. He's
You're really talking about Phileas.
Many talents.
Yeah.
Yes. Until next time, remember to dress to the max. We're the Martian Family.
Blasting off. Hello, friends. You found the secret Easter egg at the end of the podcast. So I just wanted to share with you some exciting news. We recently have released a YouTube channel called Martian Family Values, and we're very, very excited to be sharing this with you. It's been a labor of love, and I am so excited to extend the styling work that I do and also help showcase some of the amazing people in our lives who have an equal amount of enthusiasm for clothing as we do. So in the channel, we're going to be touring local businesses. They may be storefronts, they may be online businesses in real life, mostly vintage shops, but a mixture of secondhand. And we're going to be interviewing people about some of the pieces in their shops and having themed episodes just showcasing their shops and some of the amazing pieces that we come across. We're also going to be sharing with you 3 other amazing things. The first one is going to be closet tours, which I am so excited about. A lot of people have been requesting seeing photos of my closet or just seeing how I organize things, what my collection is full of. And it is so large that it's going to require many episodes that are going to be themed. So you can expect themes from anywhere from sequins to lurex to different subcultures. And I'm going to be just going through some of my favorite pieces in my closet. And then on top of that, we're also going to be doing haul videos. So we'll be doing weekly haul videos where we show some of the pieces that we've purchased because we shop a lot. So there will be bags and bags of clothes to go through, and we'll talk about why we purchased some of these pieces, where we got them from, what the intent is for them. And then on top of that, we're going to be doing deep dives. This is where we're going to be going through an individual item or like a couple of items and really getting deep into the history of it, where it came from, how it was made, who the designer is. We're going to be bringing experts in to talk about some of these pieces. So really just learning about specific pieces and their relevance in the fashion world. I am so excited to be sharing all of this with you. It's going to be so much fun. And you can subscribe to Martian Family Values on YouTube. We're going to be releasing the videos once a week on Thursday. So there should be a lot of amazing content for you. And I can't wait to see how this all turns out. Again, it's Martian Family Values on YouTube. You can subscribe now, and then we'll be sharing through our Instagram, and we'll be talking about some of these things in our podcast too and kind of interlinking them. So it should be a really fun way to talk about fashion. All right, and that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I can't wait till next week. This is Orchid Satellite, blasting off.